Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Thank you for being here around the world, wherever you're watching. You beautiful person, you beautiful soul. You deserve sovereignty. You deserve your rights. We need to stop all corruption in government. I have a promise for you that I can show you exactly how to do that. And at the end of this video, you're going to know what action step you can take to be part of the great change the world needs to see. My name is Nicholas Guillermo. I'm the founder of Ballot AI. I've been a professional petition circulator since the year 2000. My entire adult career, I've dedicated my lifestyle, my focus on being involved in the active activities of creating change all over the country, mainly in California, Arizona, where I live now, Florida. I've traveled all over Colorado. And I have been a part of providing people with options, choices to stop corruption in government with ballot measures. So I'm here to blow the lid off of the ballot initiative industry and all the occulted information that had been hidden from you and others about our fundamental constitutional rights that are embedded in our Constitution, yet hidden from us as if nobody wants us to know. And I say hidden because who out there is talking about them, preaching them, trying to get you involved, working to get you involved with effort so that you see the intention and you learn and realize that you have the desire as well to participate and spread the word and be a part of the great change that needs to happen. So we are here to be a part of the change, and that takes action. And so I'm going to show you what the future is going to look like when we have the transparency of all spending in taxes, when we can eliminate the majority of taxes and regulations impeding on our lives, when we can stop corruption and violence of our own police and unaccountable activities of our military command, putting our soldiers' lives in jeopardy and bullying the world. We need to be a nation of peace and working to lead the world in strength through markets and increase the prosperity for all Americans and people worldwide with a strong dollar and a strong influence in Bitcoin. Because when we can participate in the blockchain revolution, when we are part of the future technologies before the rest of the world, we become dominant as leaders, and our own lifestyles can be prosperous, not because of the use of force of taking it from others, like much of our imperialist like activities the United States have been involved in, but rather we can gain prosperity through voluntary market-based solutions, providing services to others and being part of the service industries. In one way or another, we all have skills. We're all here to be a part of a community, keeping our money flowing and bringing more money together so that all of our value rises instead of letting it be stolen and taken by foreign interests that do not invest in our own cities and our own lives. I'm going to show you how we can re-manifest the spirit of the founding fathers and become the declarationists of our future constitutions ourselves with ballot initiatives, referenda, recalls, citizen grand jury, and of course, candidate nominations for the right candidates that must be vetted and have very deep knowledge of campaign policy ideas to lead their campaigns with policies that matter and to understand the laws that need to be behind them. But here's the thing, if candidates remain simply encouraging you to vote for them because they'll fix everything, then they are also somewhat complacent, not necessarily through their own desires or intentions, but complacent in the means of not encouraging your own direct participation. And without your direct participation, who do you expect to be accountable when things don't happen? What I mean to say is if you don't participate, you can't blame these politicians you vote for when they're not able to get the job done. And they want to, and they intend to sometimes, but they can't because of the block, because the rhinos and the ultra neoliberals, the liberals on the left, blocking sensible middle of the road policy. So what we need to do is preempt their ability to preempt us, create constitutional protections ourselves, enlighten the public, educate the masses, get the majority to vote in favor of limits on government. And so the secret that we need to understand is that we've always been able to create policy and put it on the ballot and vote on it and change any law any of these years that have gone by our entire lives. Yet the politicians don't lead us to understand these rights enough. When it's spoken about, it's seldom. And again, they don't get you involved. And neither does any activism groups you may have contributed money to. What they will do is they will write the policy. So they are a tremendous service and of value to us. And we, of course, need people that then later see the light and decide to join the people's movement and being part of promoting the decentralization of Republican conservative government by we, the people, through the ballot measure process. It's part of 24 of the states' constitutions. All of the states, for the most part, have it on a local level, and they also have charter amendments where the real reform begins. And everywhere we have a process to lobby, and we have to do that in some cases. That may be our only option. So we have to have strong candidates that can represent us, but they should be advocating for these rights. Because when we can take over and show the rapid solution making that is possible in any of the ballot initiative states, like a small state like Massachusetts, or a very small city like Washington, D.C., and hopefully my home state where I'm implementing and promoting this project, like Arizona, or a beautiful state like Washington State, or the massive state of California. If we were to organize correctly, as I know it's possible because the numbers of the election polls of Trump's election clearly show conservatives are the majority, we should be able to tell our neighbors to participate in voting on policy, signing the petitions, and putting them on the ballot so that we can start to really disrupt all the politics and all the blockades that have kept us from reforming our world. Start in our backyard, start stopping bad laws here, start creating laws to limit government here now. The secret, number two, is that we've always had the ability to do this and the ability to network with enough people to make it happen that fast. Just as you were watching this video, you could share it with two people and they could share it with two others. They could share it with two others. And if the process continues, people watch the video and share with just two others once a week. You can see from simple calculation, it's only going to take a number of weeks to get millions of people behind it. And with that kind of power, we can launch any permanent grassroots campaign, starting with a very strong budget. Look, a dollar person's $1 million. Boom, we can start a grassroots campaign that can last years for multiple states, sharing resources, bootstrapping the experience of beginning and launching ballot initiatives for every other state, making it easier and easier with the more activity we have and the more participants, so that direct democracy becomes the norm. We start promoting rapid direct democracy ballots in every state to save the republic, to use our constitutional rights to limit government. Let me say that again. We are working to find the solutions, and we have them. And so we shall have thorough debate, because many people in the middle and on the left don't understand that we can actually solve the problems that they're worried about as well. In most cases, we have similar goals, just different way of going about it. And we have to lay out the plan of action to test out conservative policies and see how they go. Let them watch and witness. We can always reverse things if we make a mistake, but we can move faster with more accuracy than the politicians do when we are organized. The secret number three is that once we build this critical mass, that can be done simply by referring others to refer others, you see, the duplication principle. Once we do that and we have a strong enough collective consciousness on the topics at hand, so to speak, we can all take action independently. We'll know what activities to take, and we will simply make them happen. We'll do them. There will be someone that stands up in the crowd and says, now I know, I'm going to do it. And it's going to change the world. Countries worldwide use ballot access, and they will want to follow suit as well. The third most amazing thing that we're doing is solving a problem of all the fraud and corruption in the industry. There is an industry that exists to qualify ballot measures. So, in the process of finding the organized volunteers and working with many deadlines, we want to make action happen this year. So, we might as well go the old fashioned route of simultaneously fundraising and organizing for this election coming up, 2026. So, we are going to network and organize and seek to find as many volunteers, but we're also going to do good old fashioned fundraising because until we reach the critical mass numbers, I can't rely on everybody passing the word and getting other people to take action. And, you know, we all have to play our role. But I'm going to do my best. And I really encourage you to be a part of that. We have now the method of democratizing ownership of the industry and having complete transparency with the technology solution so that everybody can launch a ballot initiative in their groups, have all the money accounted for so that you're only paying for signatures that are valid to get them on the ballot, and having a way to donate essentially for a cause with transparency and direct active results that you know will be achieved, like getting it on the ballot. The donations will leverage blockchain technologies and investment solutions, leveraging Bitcoin's 4-year halving cycle. We're going to create liquidity pools in our own token, and token burn mechanisms will increase the value and scarcity when we have a large enough distributorship of individuals trading and sharing tokens with others. Because we need a lot of wallet holders and we need buyers, we need people staking, and that shows activity demand on the token and gives it real world market value. People will speculate, pump the value. You can sell a little bit, that's fine. But the end goal is to get more and more long-term stakers, especially with your profits. Just stake a little of them long-term. The 4 years, stake it, stake those profits and set them there because we're going somewhere. As more people stake, the coins become more scarce. And we have campaigns we activate on our software. When we launch the escrow service, all the additional monies that are collected when we bargain with clients and we set up these blockchain contracts will ultimately be able to be redistributed to token holders in specific events and democratize ownership in that way, as also in just the collective sharing and marketing, promoting, getting overrides, so to speak, getting these commissions when you get somebody else to stake. These commissions will ultimately add up as this token becomes more scarce, and you can get a monetary value out of being an early investor. And that's what I'm here to say. Investors that come later are the ones also actively contributing to the fundraiser to launch a ballot. So they recognize the sacrifice. They recognize that monies will be used to pay for services, but they get the best services for their value, hands down. We're creating the lowest cost for ballot access services while simultaneously working to share override profits. When we scale down our net cost, we're going to share with the owners. We're still going to be able to get every contract. And that's the point. There's a 14 billion, 16 billion dollar industry as of last election. And this election's easily over 20 billion. So what if we captured 80% of that? Because no one can compete. The only people getting contracts are the ones that get to them before we do. And we have, let's say we have 15 billion going through smart contracts on our program where they have to stake the Ballot AI token to manage their work. And more tokens are distributed to all of the petitioners. We have a recipe to increase the token ownership and trades that can take this to epic heights, and realize that the end result is the decentralization of government, where we not only own the government technology, the technology that helps us get the ballot access and ensure the right to vote on policy, but we also own the process of creating the policy and legislation with our neighbors to limit government and simply agreeing on what the top policies are we want to take action on. And then we wake up others about this process and how we've always had these rights, and we spread the word. When we do that, we can build a belief pattern that gives us confidence and optimism that nothing can stop the American movement, the freedom revolution. The revolution now with a paper and a pen that's stronger than any sword, any standing army. Our beautiful Constitution, our constitutional rights. The pen is mightier than the sword. Remember that. Now, I want you to ask yourself a question. Money is good. However, has it bought us freedom? No matter how much money that we have put into helping Trump get elected, or the time, like myself, risked working for the America PAC on my credit so that I could help him get elected, which is a cost of not working in other types of labor. Money's good, but it has not bought us all of the solutions, because even with Trump and president, the states often have control of many radicals that are not easing up. And we already have so many laws in place by our state that Trump's not just going to overturn. We need to overturn them ourselves. So we have to realize that money is good, but is freedom worth more than the money that you hold? That you would be willing to trade some money for a type of token that offers freedom, money, a new monetary unit that offers freedom versus a monetary unit that is ultimately controlled by the Fed, the dollar. The Ballot AI token offers direct democracy. The dollar offers debt to the Federal Reserve and leverage for the banks to invest in all kinds of all kinds of things for their own profit that, they're good for lending. I give them that. But ultimately, we want more power for the people and to use the banks to borrow, to invest in cryptocurrencies that are on the rise after the halving, after the presidential election, of course, and invest in our businesses with our cryptocurrencies so that we can then sell with far greater profits that are even available in the stock market with all the leverage that cryptocurrencies offer. There's so many more profits and so many more millionaires being made in crypto faster than ever. And just to have a monetary unit with deflation, we're not subject to the rapid inflation of the dollar that even all these stocks are holding. Because if the dollar loses 50%, all the stocks do too. You have to remember that. And we could see massive hyperinflation. The Federal Reserve is outside the federal government. Unless Trump clamps down, ends the IRS, I'm rooting for him, end the income tax, puts limits on the Federal Reserve somehow, and just eventually gets us in a position to get rid of it. What do we need inflationary money for other than artificial growth? Maybe there's an argument to have a tapering effect. I don't know everything. But what I do know is we can have benefit with ballot initiatives. One other point on money is that the State Bank of North Dakota doesn't have debt, and their state alone, or at least they didn't for a while. And they did something, yeah, until the 2008 collapse. They actually survived that. Then COVID hit, and they've had some problems. I followed that a little bit. But North Dakota created a sovereign state bank that doesn't pay the Federal Reserve debt like the other states. And it's a model that can also ultimately protect states' long-term savings. And with those long-term savings and reserves, it can protect the people of those states should natural disaster and other issues occur. So that's really important. And, we have access to all kinds of information. But are you able to access information that actually empowers you and teaches you how to play a role in stopping all the corruption in government? Are you part of an inside circle that's a part of that, creating the policies and organizing to put them on the ballot? Information about all the problems in the world is out there, but what about the solutions and strategies? What if the solutions was a policy and the strategy is putting on the ballot, and I have the software to do that? Would you believe that it's important to invest in that software? There's all of these other activism groups lobbying and pushing this narrative and hoping to collect money to keep talking to politicians. And we need to have the most strategic, economically efficient method. And sometimes, in the most directed method is, my friend, is the ballot initiative process. So it's us, direct democracy, decentralized government advocates versus all of the kind of hierarchical statists relying on politicians and elected bureaucrats to be the end result. We need to realize we don't have to wait for them anymore and bring them to us, bring them to be part of our direct democracy organization. That's ultimately what we need, is total participation from every media group, every politician that backs the people's movement. And it's basically the union and unity party versus those that want to be separatist and want to keep infighting and pushing for the weighting of politicians and their whole struggle against the parties, the whole Hegelian dialectic, left-right paradigm, bondage that keeps us entrapped. It doesn't have to be cuffing us anymore. We can be free from our barbed wire entanglement of ideas waiting for politicians to change and hoping, and rather take physical action. Go out, file ballots, collect physical petitions in the streets. It's the most gratifying feeling when you're making change. You're part of it. You're inspiring others. You're educating. You're getting them ready for the election. You're getting the registration ready. You're getting everything updated as you need, and getting them to be grateful that we live in a free country. And, we have so many excuses for not doing enough. We have so many excuses we make when really all we need is like one person out of a couple hundred, 250 people in my state. In your state, it's a measly small number as well, unless you're California. They have like the shortest timeline, so they need lots of people. They need like, I think I estimated several 3,000 or so people. That's not too many. Here we need 250. You see how much smaller a number that is? In Arizona, if we had 250 people, that would go out once a week to collect 1 to 2 pages of signatures. It takes an hour and a half. Okay, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. And if they did that once a week, we can get any ballot initiative we want. We could have 10 of them. And the good thing is, people will want to sign 10. And when you have one person standing around with the skills you develop, you learn my skills, how I work, how I teach, you learn how petitioners that are pros operate. You can also develop those skills, and it's a thrill. I tell you, you get the person signing, you educate them, you talk to them, one petition after another, and then you draw in another person. You get them going one after another. You get them both signing the same petitions at the same time, and then lead the person who caught up back to their original positions. You get a new person, you catch them up, you do all mismatch and order, you keep it all organized on top, and you get everybody to sign everything smooth. You get 2 people, 5 people, 8 people at a time, and you keep doing rotations of people and just get hundreds of signatures in a day. If we just had enough people doing that, we can get anything on the ballot. I'm telling you, the numbers are so easy to get, and we keep making excuses why we haven't made it happen. Like it's our fault we haven't gotten all the politicians elected, but we don't need to wait for them. You understand? We don't need to wait. We need to just do the action ourselves. In order to operate, in order to create the best operating system for you and everybody to be a part of, we need to fund the mission. And you have to ask yourself, how much disposable income do you have? Can you skip a latte? Can you skip going on a trip to the movies? Can you skip out on making a little money on Solana currency, or capture Solana gains for that part? Capture Solana gains instead of dollars and put them into the Ballot AI token. If it's something you can save, what if we can save it long term, stake it, and build a community that stakes it long to actually increase in value over the dollar, and have the potential with rapid, massive hyper adoption in due time with a strong community that we can increase even faster than Solana. With a lower market cap, we can increase the value for early investors to highest levels imaginable. We're still most tiny, insignificant, not on the map crypto token, and it's exciting. We're at 25K. We can go up 1,000x from here to handle the liquidity of all the major investors in the industry. Now, as a major investor, they have lots of money, and they can invest millions of dollars in a campaign. They can invest in an old legacy model that exists today where they have zero transparency, and they can make excuses for that and not be part of Ballot AI. Or they could actually test out our escrow services, give us their voter databases they want us to run through this system, and go ahead and run the AI and show them it works, because I have an MVP. It's easy to show with an NDA, because MVP uses protected voters' information. It's just really using real handwriting to show the AI models work. And they can witness what we do, and then they won't have to go back to the old model. It's billions of dollars in this industry. So they make a choice at that point. Do they want to go to the future where their money is protected? It's on the blockchain. They can track and trace every spended penny. Or do they want to make excuses? They're not ready for the technology. They're not ready to learn about it, and go to a method that's not transparent, that has no potential way to really hold those contractors accountable. Think about it. We can walk everybody through how to get into crypto, how to stake their cryptocurrencies, how to trade, And within a small amount of time, people could become confident and start to even explore, start to be aware of where the scams are and find all those top projects they can be confident are going to be around for a long time and have massive increases during the bull market. We can walk you through the 4-year cycles when you know to invest with confidence, and when it's a bear market, how you can walk out with major gains. We can absolutely show you how to do that. And so I haven't been really participating enough, wanting to do all these videos and get people involved, only simply because it hasn't been ready. All the pieces aren't in place. It's still not perfect. It's not in place, but I have limited time because the biggest activity is happening tomorrow with the America Fest. I'm going to be around all of the conservative leaders, all the youth that want to be part of the future movements. Trump is going to be there. And, now I just have to let the inner confidence out and be at my top performance despite all the failures in the past, to let those be past learning lessons and let this powerful event I know is going to be the best event other than the Bitcoin conference and some other cryptocurrency events, which would be amazing. But it's about the grassroots people that are of this earth, that are countrymen that want to save our country from government, getting into crypto adoption through our program as a segue when they learn why it's crucial to hold the Ballot AI tokens to achieve the goals that they want, goals that they never knew were achievable, that legacy technology simply would not be able to provide the way a Web3 futuristic blockchain technology can offer. And so we're going to be amazing. The money is going to come back as you invest early. We're going to get such waves with advertisements and upgrades to our software, new contracts. Waves of investment will happen. And the money you invest now can be paid back many times as we grow and we market and promote our bags. We want people to buy in so that our target grows. We can sell, but know that we were part of the birth of that project. Okay. We can all be a part of that because the future is worldwide and people be a part of this. They will hold long and we can create such long-term support for our project and bring real world capital, real world assets, and the technology, also known as an RWA, into the utility of our project because we create an asset for the ballot access worldwide. Our technology can then distribute funds to the token holders as early investors on the blockchain directly to their wallets, those who are staking, and have a fair shared economic model that will be, again, built onto the smart contracts, audited so everyone can see. It's amazing. So you have choices. You have choices to invest into the blockchain, into the crypto of the future, build a portfolio with us of patriotic tokens, be a part of the future of the communities that want to take back our world through direct democracy. As we build token after token for policies we want to put on the ballot, grow their economic value, liquidate some for helping the campaigns get started, burn some to help the token owners have more scarcity in their economic system to increase their value, and everyone benefits. We create worldwide long-term campaigns. You can have the choice to support that and be early, or you can not be early, invest in other tokens that are later in their stages, that don't even have a fraction of the utility, that don't even have a real world working solution that can be implemented the day the smart contracts are launched finally. And we're almost there. I've been self-investing in this to have the majority of the ownership of the whole project so that I can at least walk away with the amount I invested in it to have some life at ease, because I've been working seriously hard to get it going. My life of ease will look just like my life at work, except I wouldn't have stress because I could just focus on this full time. And that's ultimately the goal I want to get to with your support so that I can be a full-time participant in decentralizing activism movements, creating multiple clones of myself, of other people talking about the same topics I speak of, and getting others organized. All right. That's what we want. So we can say goodbye to the old system, goodbye to the legacy hierarchy, and embrace the horizontal power dispersal where the people all have equal power, one vote, one cast right to change our future, and educate others that the casting the vote is to stop some problem the government has allowed, educating them what exactly the problem is, how much it's cost us, how many lives it's affected, and so forth. And we can say goodbye to corruption in government and end all of it. And if you only had one cryptocurrency to invest in that would solve a problem, what would that problem be? Would that problem still be a problem if there wasn't so much corruption in government? If we got to the root of it, we have to ask that question. Could most problems in society have their root in government negligence and abuse in the first place? The lack of representation for what it's worth. And if we had an investment to actually empower us to solve those problems, if we had one chance to be early on helping to bring this to the world, to change all future generations for civilizations with a permanent blockchain that can be hosted in satellites and never be destroyed, would you take that challenge? Would you potentially break old habits of watching movies, television, sports, other activities that you could always catch a video later if it meant that you could be at a live meeting, participate with us, and be part of the community and help us get this legislation ready, get it drafted, get it filed, and get everything propelled so that everyone can be a participant in creating the future solutions in our states? I have all the model legislation we need. It's already been created. The solutions are there. What you've missed is the strategy. And so we need to break the old habits that keep us distracted from participating in the actual solution. We can listen to more discussion and rhetoric on the talks of the times of what's hot in politics to discuss right now. But we already know those things. We've had great leaders educating us about them. It's now time we get them involved and ourselves lead on taking action to solve those problems we've learned about, and break the old habit of just being caught in our echo chamber, speaking over and over about how bad the problems are. It's time to take action. Ballots give us the right to overpower the government, vote more powerfully than they can to create a law they can't even reverse. Only we can reverse it. So it's up to us in our education. So we must educate, we must enlighten ourselves about the ballot initiative process and all the policies that affect us, and then take action when we have that knowledge to synergize it into that verb of action, making the difference, taking the choice. If you had two choices, you need to think about it. You could have the choice to walk away from this information, or you could have a choice to be a part of the future of all generations, leading us to the pinnacle of civic, peaceful governance, where the pen is mightier than the sword to stop all warring armies and all corruption of even the police violence and all of the institutions that prey on us. We can stop all the violence. I'm absolutely in favor of law enforcement, but it has to be reformed. We must have accountability. I'm absolutely in favor of military, but it has to be reformed. 100% capital protections have to be implemented to protect the people from waste. And we must start utilizing the blockchain for all kinds of things, for tracking all taxes and spending, for example. Start to show people the waste is, and that then propels us to live in government. Blockchain voting is crucial. Protecting crypto startups like myself from being shut down by the state's governments is crucial. Protecting your rights as an investor to invest in a project like myself or any others overseas that are currently blocked under the limitations set by the TC. Waiting for this Trump presidency, maybe it'll open up more crypto opportunity. Otherwise, in our states, under our 10th Amendment, we have the rights to the freedom to even say no to the limitations the federal government puts on us that should be protected as our Bill of Rights ensures. So you have the choice to be a part of the future of finance, of capitalism, of prosperity, of localization of an international economy, to learn all about DeFi and bring the wealth into your life with the information you can gain from the alpha I teach in the channels, from the alpha I distribute from participants in my cryptocurrency research groups. And we can be part of this now, or wait to see what happens once we've already reached the 70,000 market cap, got all the decentralized exchanges to list us, got international traders in Wales trading our token. So you can make a decision now while it's early. You can make a decision now to write ballots. Or what about 2026, 2028? If we have not solved the problems by then, it's your fault for not doing this now. We could have put the ballot on there. We could have put that initiative on the ballot and had everyone ready to vote for it by 2026. We don't want to get to that point where we don't have a ballot referendum, an initiative, a recall to kick out every corrupt politician already on the ballot. And we absolutely need to file citizen grand juries for all the crimes that have occurred under the Biden administration to the states where they can implement it, and other administrations before that as applicable. And we can do that now. We don't need to wait for justice. Justice can happen in our lifetimes. Those changes for all future generations. I have a child. Do you? Do you have children? Do you have neighbors, uncles, grandparents? Do you have anybody that also needs a better world you can stand up for? Be the one that does the thing, collects the signatures, files a ballot, or supports the local organization that will file the ballot in your community when we create that. So you need to be a part of that. And to close, all you have to do is buy Ballot AI token. You need to get Solana cryptocurrency. You can put that into a Phantom wallet and trade at the Meteora DEX. Go to ballot.ai online. We also have the website cryptopetitioner.com and Liberty Constitution to get an overview. libertyconstitution.com gives you an overview for total of the ideas, totality, sorry, it's late, of our ideas are shared at cryptopetitioner.com. So please be a part of that. I thank you for your time. I think I've gotten all the major points. 36-minute video, but I'm going to come back to this. This is a great video. I'm going to see if I can make it short and find the perfect video for the front of the website. Thanks.